Did you know the US and France almost fought a full-scale war in 1798 over a bribery scandal? We're going through America's first 125 years in 125 days, and today is 1798, the year America's friendship with France completely collapsed, and John Adams uses a crisis to silence anyone who disagrees with him. So remember, when Adams becomes president, he inherits a mess with France. The French have been seizing American merchant ships for years, over 300 by this point, because they're furious that America signed the Jay Treaty with Britain instead of supporting them. So Adams sends 3 diplomats to Paris to negotiate, but when they arrive, they're met by 3 anonymous French agents, referred to as X, Y, and Z, who tell them they can't even meet with Talleyrand, the French foreign minister, until America pays a $250,000 bribe and over $10 million loan to France. Again, all just to start negotiations. The American diplomats refuse, the American people are furious, Congress goes so far as to authorize American warships to attack French vessels on sight. The Quasi-War, an undeclared naval war with France, has officially begun, and Adams goes even further. He asks George Washington to come out of retirement to lead a provisional army in case France actually invades. Washington gives the most reluctant agreement of all time. He really just wanted to stay retired, but only on the condition that Alexander Hamilton is his second in command, and Adams doesn't love that. He and Hamilton don't really get along too well, but he trusts Washington enough to go with it. And Washington never asks to fight. The war never makes its way to American soil, but Adams calling him out of retirement shows how serious this conflict was. Meanwhile, the war, of course, takes a partisan turn. With the country now in a frenzy, Hamilton's Federalists see this as an opportunity to bring forward the Alien and Sedition Acts. Now, the Alien Acts let Adams deport any foreigner that he considers dangerous, namely a lot of French and Irish immigrants who support Democratic Republicans, while the Sedition Act makes it a federal crime to criticize the president or Congress. Conveniently, neither of these protect the vice president, who at this time is the famous leader of the Democratic Republican Party and main political enemy of the Federalists, Thomas Jefferson. All in all, around 25 people get indicted, including newspaper editors and a sitting congressman. Matthew Lyon gets thrown in jail for calling Adams power hungry. Benjamin Franklin's own grandson gets arrested for his newspaper. Understandably, people view this as very similar to the British tyranny they just fought a war to escape. And Thomas Jefferson and James Madison are obviously horrified, so they secretly write the Virginia and Kentucky resolutions arguing that states can nullify unconstitutional federal laws. And keep that in mind because it creates a dangerous precedent that'll be used to justify secession 60 years later in the lead up to the Civil War. Anyway, the Sedition Act backfires completely. Instead of silencing the opposition, it of course makes the Federalists look like tyrants and turns Jefferson into a martyr. Americans start wondering if this is what Federalists do with power, should they even have any at all? And during all this infighting, Adams is still trying to decide the best course of action with France, so follow for 1799 when Adams goes against his own party by pursuing peace with France, and when our nation's founding father is finally laid to rest.